But now let's get back to business. We are now starting with the first sponsor talk provided to you by Simon Viñals from AMD. Simon Viñals, AMD Business Development Executive from Spain and Portugal. He has 35 years of experience in the IT market, hardware and software. And he's going to talk about how AMD enables more than 2 exaflops. Okay.
Hello, good morning. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Thank you, Alberto. First of all, I would like to thank to the BSc and the RES for the invitation to be here again with you. This is not the first year that we are here sponsoring the event, and it's a pleasure for us to be part of this community. Matteo mentioned the importance of collaboration, the importance of sharing knowledge, and I am a true believer also of the power of sharing the knowledge, and this is why I am here. What I am trying to do today in 15, 20 minutes is to share a little bit of the knowledge of a leader company like AMD, who is doing amazing things in this field of HPC. And I would like to present to you what we are doing and where we are going in HPC. Okay, so last year, when I was at this stage, I talked to you about this supercomputer you see in the picture, called Frontier. Frontier right now is the #1 in the world, in the top 500 list. And it's a system which has a CPU and GPU by AMD, the latest state-of-the-art, provided by HPE. This is not only the leader of performance right now, but it's also one of the leaders in the term of efficiency. And as you will see along my slides, my presentation, for AMD, efficiency is equal or even more important than performance. We try always to keep the best possible efficiency with the best possible performance. And this way we contribute a little bit to other topic that Matteo, Sergi, and all the panelists this morning talked about the importance of preserving the environment and reducing the carbon footprint. And this is the way we collaborate into that. So this year, in the last year, since the event in Cáceres last year, there has been 7 new supercomputers in the top 500 who have the latest generation of AMD technology, and they are, these 7, 4 of them are in the top 12. So it's very important to highlight the good work that we are doing together with our partners. Here you can see on the top, the top 500 list, and #1, #3, #11, and #12 are using AMD CPU and AMD GPU. I will explain a little bit later which ones. But not only this, it's important that in the green 500 list, we are also in the top 6, with the #2, #3, #4, #5, #6. So we are always striving and pushing for the limit in terms of efficiency together with performance. And we collaborate with the biggest research institutions in the world, and also with the BSc, of course. So there are 3 pillars in our strategy in relation with high-performance computing or accelerated computing. AMD platforms are based on the architecture, what we would call CDNA. CDNA is the architecture we develop for compute GPUs, data center GPUs. And of course, it's designed to do one thing, but extremely well: compute and accelerated compute based on GPU philosophy, intensive HPC and AI workloads. We also have another of the strategic pillars is what we call ROCm. ROCm is the software ecosystem which AMD has created, And the importance of ROCm is that it's not a proprietary environment. It does not include any software that you need to pay for or that it's closed proprietary software. It's open source ecosystem. So it's an open and portable software ecosystem. It's very important. And it's one of the pillars of our success is collaborating with all the open source software foundations, open source software players in this ecosystem, and be able to optimize the performance of the libraries, the frameworks, the compilers, everything inside this open source framework, and be able to use it for AI and for high-performance computing. And the third pillar is the deep partnership that we have with the leading research institutions in the world, which helps each other to move faster. So our journey in this acceleration is defined by our roadmap, what we call the roadmap. A few years ago, we were talking about the AMD Instinct MI100, which was the first generation of this CDNA architecture. This was our first step towards this roadmap of acceleration. Right now, what we have in the market and what is selling now is the AMD Instinct MI200. This is the generation which is in the frontier supercomputer, the top one in the world. And the importance of this architecture is that it's defining the transition to what we will launch very soon at the end of this year, which is the MI300. But also important of the MI200 generation is that it's in the market right now, it's available, it has a good price, and it has a very, very good performance and efficiency. And if you want to buy it, it's fully available and there's no delay in the supply. So this is very, very important that all the ecosystem, the OEMs, the manufacturers, the vendors, which are here now, HPE, Dell, Atos, Supermicro, Lenovo, they all have this and they can sell it now, today. And at the end of this year, we will launch the next generation, which is called AMD Instinct MI300. And I will develop a little bit what is this next generation, because it has a breakthrough leadership in the architecture, which is the first time that we have put together CPU and GPU in the same die, in the same data center APU, we call it Accelerated Processing Unit. So another thing that has changed in the last year is that AI has become a mega trend. It's not a hype, it's not a fashion, it's a mega trend that everybody is following. And you, the users, you know it very well, everybody wants to do something with AI. Many companies, many enterprises know what they want to do, and they are starting to do it. Others don't know exactly what they want to do because they don't know what's possible to do. But we try to help with the help of our partners and our ecosystem. So in AMD, we believe also in this AI megatrend, and we have invested a lot in the past in also specializing and optimizing all our products for AI. We have now a broad portfolio of products, which I will show you later, with training and inference compute engines specialized for different tasks, different workloads. We have products for almost every need. We have also, as I mentioned, very, very important, an open and proven software, which is available, which is free, is open source, and it has a large community of users in the world. And one of those are Frontier, Lumi, the biggest supercomputers in the world are using this software, this open source software. And this is enabling a lot of collaboration. So here you see a picture of some of the products that we have for AI. On the top left, the standard GPU, which we call MI200, the accelerators that we have right now in the market. But we also have the FPGA accelerators, Alveo, which is a family we incorporated a couple of years ago when we acquired Xilinx. Xilinx was one of the leader companies in FPGA technology. And now all the Xilinx portfolio is AMD portfolio. And Alveo is one of the data center PCI Express cards that we use more intensively for edge inference and data center acceleration. Then we have the standard CPU, the 4th generation of the AMD EPIC family of CPUs, which is the latest generation we have in the market. This is also the generation which is in the frontier. We have also some family of embedded AI edge inference compute engines, which we call Versal, which come also from the acquisition of Xilinx, and they are specialized for working in IoT, in sensors, in embedded inference, like can be in drones or in cars or in airplanes. And this year, we also launched the first PC CPU, which you can find in laptops, and it has inside the CPU an AI module embedded in the CPU. And many people ask me, what is this AI module for? Well, there's many, many use cases in a PC that you can use of AI, and this can help not needing to go to the cloud every time you need to run an AI algorithm or AI inference. You can run it locally on the PC with this AI module without consuming CPU cycles. As I mentioned before, these are the top supercomputers in the world that use AMD technology, and you can see here what are they doing? What do they use these supercomputers for in terms of AI? What are the use cases? For example, in Frontier, they are doing a very, very important cancer research and treatment research. Then in Lumi, for example, they are working a lot in large language models. They have the largest language model in Europe for Finnish language, and they are also working in other scientific research projects for LLM. In Microsoft, for example, they have AI and HPC workloads in Azure in the US, in the west coast of the US. They already have this Explorer supercomputer. And in Korea, for example, Korea Telecom is also doing a lot of natural language processing, AI workloads with AMD technology. And the most important part of this roadmap is the software. I think, okay, we have good hardware. It has a very good performance, very good price. It's available, okay, but you could do nothing with the hardware if you don't have a good software. And we have worked a lot in the last year, continuing with the effort in the last years to include inside this open source environment a lot of new libraries, compilers, tools, profilers, but not only at the middle level of the stack, but also on the top level of the stack, the frameworks, the algorithms, the AI models. What we really use, what the users really are using now, is not a low-level programming interface. Typically, it's the AI models, the AI algorithms, and the AI frameworks. And for example, just one little example, last year, 1 year ago, AMD started being a leading member of the PyTorch Foundation. We believe that working in those type of frameworks and bringing them to open source community is very, very important for the development of the ecosystem. So ROCm, we have now the version 5 of this suite of software. It's very evolved, it's very optimized, it's a comprehensive suite of data center optimizations, and it works on, I would say, almost any technology. It can develop software that can run on AMD GPUs, but you can run it also on AMD CPUs, you can run it on NVIDIA GPUs. It's portable, it's totally portable, and it frees the user from being held captive of a manufacturer. If you choose this software suite, this software ecosystem, you are free to use it anywhere. So we truly believe in AMD, in open source, in the open models of collaboration, and we are accelerating this innovation in many fields. You can see here in smart audio, vision, natural language processing, large language models, generative AI, many, many types of algorithms where we are working now and collaborating with the broad open source community. And now the technology product part of the presentation, which is announcing what we are going to launch very, very soon at the end of this year. In fact, this Instinct MI300A is already being deployed, is already being installed in the new supercomputer that will become, hopefully next year, the next #1 after Frontier. It's called El Capitan. It's a new supercomputer that is also in the United States. And we are also collaborating with HPE in this supercomputer. It's already being deployed, being installed in the States. The MI300 is the world's first true APU. What does it mean to be an APU, an accelerated processing unit? It is not a CPU, it is not a GPU. It's a combined die which has CPU cores, GPU cores, and most important, unified memory. It's an HBM3 memory, which is shared by the CPU and the GPU cores. And this simplifies a lot the world of the life of the software developers, because you don't need anymore to create the coherence between the CPU main system memory, the RAM, and the GPU dedicated memory, which is inside the GPU. In this case, you have a unified memory, HBM3, very fast, high bandwidth memory, which is shared by the CPU and the GPU cores. This APU, MI300A, will have 24 CPU cores, 120 gigabytes of memory, HBM3 memory. It's manufactured in 5 nanometers and 6 nanometers process technology in TSMC. And the most important characteristic is this shared memory, as I already mentioned. The 3 important parts of this product is the key leading innovation in technology of being a shared memory and mixing CPU and GPU in the same die, but also the top performance, which is we calculate that it will be 8 times more performing than the current generation, 8 times more, not 8%, 8 times more performance in artificial intelligence algorithms. And not less important, the efficiency. We always care about being able to do a lot of performance with less energy consumption and less heat. I already mentioned, I don't want to go through because I don't want to take time of the next panel, but of course, if you have any questions, we are several people from AMD here in this event today, and we are happy to answer any questions about the MI300A. Here you can see a picture of, on the left, what is the current status of the art. We have the CPU with the memory, with the RAM, we have the GPU with the dedicated GPU memory, but you have to always care about how to define a shared memory space through the software. In the next generation that we will launch, on the right, you see the picture of how it will be. The CPU and the GPU cores together in the same die, and the memory in the same die, shared by the 2 types of cores, CPU and GPU cores. We expect also to have a very, very good performance per watt. What is the ratio between the performance and the efficiency, the power consumption? And we estimate that it will be 5 times more in performance per watt compared to the current generation which we have in the market today. And this is a picture of the next, hopefully #1 supercomputer in the world next year, which is El Capitan. El Capitan is being already built. It started in early July this year to be built, and it will be more than 2 exaflops of double precision performance. So we are very, very proud and very happy to collaborate, in this case with HPE, in the development of this new supercomputer. And then we have another product. We call it MI300X. What is the difference between the MI300A and the MI300X? This X is just a pure GPU. It is not an APU like the one I showed before. This is a true GPU, which will be continuing the architecture and the platform of the MI200, which is the one that we have in the market now. It will be the leader generative AI accelerator. It has even more memory than the MI300A, because the MI300A had 128 gigabytes. This one has 192 gigabytes of HBM3. And the estimated bandwidth, memory bandwidth, will be 5.2 terabytes per second. The Infinity Fabric bandwidth, which is the element that puts together different GPUs and the CPUs, is 896 gigabytes per second, and we have a huge number of transistors, of course, billions, 153 billions of transistors. We estimate that the density of this GPU is more than double the density of the latest product of the competitor, the H100 from NVIDIA, because instead of 80 gigabytes, we have 192 gigabytes of HBM memory. And the HBM bandwidth, we estimate that it will be more than 60% compared to the competition, to the H100, 1.6 times. And thanks to this, we can have a very, very important advantage, for example, in inference algorithms. Here you see on the gray line on top is the number of GPUs that you would need to run some of those algorithms. You see, for example, Falcon, GPT, Palm. You need a lot of GPUs from the competitor, but if you choose the GPUs from AMD, you need a lot less GPUs, the blue line on the bottom. So this is one example of our advantage in this field of AI. We have also announced that we are launching a platform which is like a small motherboard composed of 8 GPUs of the MI300X together and linked together in one block. And this will have in total 1.5 terabytes of HBM3 memory. It will be an industry standard that all our partners will be able to launch. And all those, the MI300A and MI300X, are going to be launched this year. With this, we complete the full portfolio of products that I already mentioned. We have general purpose CPUs, we have specific CPUs for specific workloads, we have the FPGAs, accelerators, all types of solutions for any needs. And our platforms are open, as I mentioned, it's very important. They are proven, they have been used for the largest supercomputers in the world for many years, and we are ready, we are available, we don't have any supply delays, and we are available with all our ecosystem of partners. Thank you very much. If you have any quick question I can answer now or later, I will be here the whole day.
Yeah, we have time for one little question, because we are already behind schedule, but one question we can do. Is there someone? Yeah.
Hello. I just a simple question about the MI300A and X. On paper, it seems a nice idea to have the CPU and GPU connected directly, but are there any kind of benchmarks of how does it affect? Because if I'm a customer, I don't know if it's better an APU or maybe a big CPU with more cores and the 3X.
Yes, we have, of course, our internal benchmarks. They are not still public because the product has not been launched yet, even though it's starting to be installed in the El Capitan supercomputer. It's an internal collaboration that we have with HPE. We cannot publish the benchmarks right now, but we will soon be able to publish them. We expect to launch in the last quarter of this year. We have not announced an official launch date, and I cannot be more precise, more accurate. But if you leave me your contact, I can facilitate probably more information when we have it, when it's public.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Simon.